Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, and today we're back on my usual menu of using the weirdest mobile suits in the game. And miraculously, someone had the same idea. If you've been following this channel for long enough, you'd know I usually pass on actual Gundams, but today we have an exception, because this Gundam is so bizarre. This is the 550 cost rate type that is as weird as it looks, the Hazel Custom Icarus Unit Equpped. With half a violin attached, this mobile suit can attack from really unexpected angles, and unlike most violins, it actually has a gun, so it can do disgusting things like this. 4,000 damage into a bunch of 3-round bursts that do 500 damage per hit. And that's the Engage Gundam support type evaporated through a random hole in the wall. Yeah, that's not very fair. To make that happen, the Hazel Custom Icarus Unit needed 2 skills. The first one is of course Flight System, which is at level 2 on this mobile suit. While active, it consumes thrusters constantly to make this mobile suit behave like it's in space. You can do all the emergency brakes and quick drops and stuff, even AMBAC works the same way. You also get the effect of maneuver armor at all times while it's active, but stagger accumulation becomes 30% more effective on you. More on that later. But the skill that made the attack just now so one-sided is the second skill, Immobile Aerial Fire. The translation for the name is a bit weird, but the effect is straightforward. When you're stationary midair, 3 things happen. You consume 70% less thrusters, stagger accumulation on you is only 20% effective, and you do 50% more ranged damage. Yikes. While in the air and stationary, this mobile suit is immovable, taking 380% stagger accumulation to stagger if I didn't do the maths wrong. You're not taking this thing down without a strong stagger. And with 70% less thruster consumption while stationary, it's staying up there for a long time. With the playstyle established, all we need now is a gun. And here's where the equally bizarre main weapon of the Icarus unit comes in. The L rifle. Yes, they just called it the L rifle. The L rifle behaves very differently when charged. But we'll first go over the uncharged mode, which you should use more. As a simple instant stagger uncharged with a very long 500 meters range, it's surprisingly easy to use. The damage is also high at 2,200 base damage. The only downside is the long cooldown of 5.5 seconds, otherwise it's a perfect gun. Then the part that keeps tempting you to fire it uncharged. When charged, this L rifle changes completely, becoming a mini death laser for 5,500 damage at most. But this consumes all shots in your magazine, so you have no main weapon while you're reloading, and the 5 seconds charge time means you're not going to help your team a lot if you charge the shot. But we still do it because it's fun. That's all the signature stuff on this mobile suit, but now we get to the problems with it, and why you don't see it a lot. It's not great. First of all, the weapons. The other weapon on this mobile suit is a burst fire bullpup machine gun. It's not horrible, but if you're firing it without the bonus from immobile aerial fire, the damage is low and it doesn't stagger until the 3rd burst. Then you have a club, an instant stagger with the classic release motion to mess up your melee, and that's it. At least the club doesn't take 3 seconds to get. The lack of weapons means you also have to try and squeeze in melees, and that brings us to this second problem. This Hazel Custom gets stopped easily. Unlike when it's stationary in the air, which takes 380% stagger to stop, while it's moving, this mobile suit only takes 77% stagger to stop. Yes, 20% less than normal. Flight System level 2 comes with the demerit of taking 30% more stagger accumulation. That means bazookas are especially effective against you, as most of them comes with 80% stagger in the first place. Yep, they stop you just like you have no maneuver armor. To slightly alleviate this problem, the Icarus unit also comes with the special weapon, Beam Deflector, which can reduce the damage from beam attacks by 50% and their stagger accumulation by 20% for 20 seconds. But it covers nowhere but the area around the chest, not even the shoulders. Why? Thank God we have special buffers for the entire Icarus unit so we don't evaporate, but that's not going to prevent us from getting staggered before we get into place. Getting downed in a single ballistic shot makes this mobile suit extremely challenging to use. This also means emergency braking is a lot more important on this mobile suit, as it makes you 300% harder to stop in an instant. Consuming almost no thrusters while staying stationary, the extra thruster consumption from stopping is really a small deal compared to getting down. But most importantly, you have to make good use of the terrain. With the ability to take flight and attack from range, this mobile suit can launch attacks from routes impossible to other mobile suits. A great example of this are the holes in the wall on this map, the colony crash site. When everyone has to go around the entire wall, this mobile suit just flies up and shoots you from the other side. This also gives this mobile suit a lot of extra spots with the right hand shot advantage, so you have to be creative and know every nook and cranny to make full use of this mobile suit. Finally, the custom parts. Custom parts are crucial on this mobile suit because it's honestly horrible without them. First, we have thruster parts, which shouldn't take much explanation. Then we put cycle plates on because the beam deflectors are absolutely pointless against funnels. All the long range slots, however, go to ranged attack. With not a lot of weapons and even less stopping power, damage is the only way you can contribute to the team, so slap all that you could on. I even got the expansion skills to get 9 extra. Here's another hole in the map and we get to show the strength of this mobile suit again. We get the right hand side advantage even while there's no ground below us. And when we feel like it's getting dangerous, we can just fire our evasion and get down to safety. Well, unless your opponent is also an Icarus unit. Almost got squilled while pressing the wrong buttons. Those call from becoming the sinner by being the last kill. Took this mobile suit to the best map for it, and even pulled out expansion skills to get more damage. And finally, we get some decent results on the Hazel Custom Icarus Unit. To make this mobile suit work, the map really is the key. It's all about getting the right sightlines in a 3D world while your enemies' souls are still bound by gravity. Know the map well and you can put a death laser on an enemy from 550 meters away, then make a swift escape from all the angry enemies by flying over the obstacles they can't get over. Anywhere else and you risk getting downed by a single bazooka. That's it from me today. Don't take this mobile suit to anywhere other than city ruins and colony crash site, and the latest.